but I wanted to talk about Jokic because, and we do this with the narrative stuff, right? Curry was the MVP. First of all, we're in this new cycle where the MVP has to be decided after 10 games, but it's Curry's the MVP, and it's like no, actually Embiid's the MVP. First of all, Embiid and Giannis have the exact same stats, and Giannis's team is slightly better. But if you just compare, Giannis is 29, 11, and 6. Embiid's 29, 11, and 5. Giannis is 55% shooting. Embiid's 49. Like, you go on through, and it's like they're basically even. The outlier of this season that it's just nobody wants to talk about is Jokic. Jokic is averaging 26, 14, and 8. He's shooting 57%. He's a borderline 57, 40, 80 guy. And here's who he's playing with. Aaron Gordon, Will Barton, Monte Morris, Jeff Green, Austin Rivers, Campazzo, Bryn Forbes, who just joined the team. They're 33 and 25. They're one game behind Philly. To me, he's clearly the MVP right now as we head to the All-Star break, but I think most people have him third.
Yeah, I think their record isn't quite good enough. I think you have to be one of the exception of the Westbrook year where he averaged a triple-double. You've pretty much got to be like a top 3 or whatever seed in your conference.
Well, Philly's a 5 seed, so why? And Philly's a 5 seed, and Denver's a 6 seed.
You rattled off all those Jokic stats. The craziest stat is that I've seen is they're scoring 103 points per possession with him off the floor and 118 with him on the floor. That's like one of the biggest like differences I've seen. I mean, and defensively, by the way, it's similar. It's like 115 with him off and 109 with him on. I mean, they are so much better with him on. His on-off numbers are breaking models. I mean, it's absurd how good his on-off numbers are. And some of it is the fact that his backups are awful. But the other part of it is he's just such a good player. He's such a tough player to game plan against. He's so unique. But yeah, he could be the MVP. I think if I'm doing the MVP, it's one of those. But Curry, I mean, by the way, Curry's pretty tough too. I mean, it's such a difficult year to call it, I think. I mean, I would say Curry, Embiid, Giannis, Jokic. I wouldn't really be upset with any one of those guys, really. Maybe, yeah, I wouldn't be upset with any one of those guys being MVP.
The thing with Jokic, he played the Celtics on Friday night, and he didn't have an awesome game. The Celtics actually did a pretty good job with him, and he still ended up with like 27, 10, and 9 assists, but he had like 9 turnovers. But he's like replicated that the college team in March Madness that's built around the one guy, and he just does everything. And you're like, wow, that guy's fucking awesome. And look at he's playing with like these cute shooters and like these little like frisky rebounders, but like he's clearly, the moment he goes out of the game, you feel like it's going to fall apart. I can't believe, first of all, I've never seen a player like him in my life. And we talked about this last year, and I'm not breaking any new ground with the Jokic thing. I can't believe how much he handles the ball this year. I don't feel like he handled it this much. Like there's possessions where he gets a rebound and he doesn't even give it up to anybody. He just dribbles up and it's like he's initiated the offense. Like he's Magic Johnson or something.
That's a lack of Murray being around. I mean, Murray never had the 2-man game, usually with Jokic setting the screen and Murray handling the ball. So I think Murray has done that a little bit. Yeah, he's always handled the ball a lot, but he's certainly handled it a lot more since Murray's gone, for sure.
Yeah, not like this, where it's almost like he's like a point center. And he would do that from time to time last year, but this year he just does everything for them. Now, Embiid was doing a lot close to everything in crunch time too for Philly. But I think the thing that's jumped out to me, and I think we look at the same stuff, like the last 5 minutes, the shots teams get at crunch time, what they're doing. Like, I just think that last 5 minutes is so different than the first 43. Jokic just gets everything.
I don't look at any of those things. Just to be clear.
No. When you're watching basketball,
yeah, I only watch the last 5 minutes a game. To be perfectly honest, now I'm half retired, so to me, I'm just flipping around to the last 5 minutes for sure. Yeah, no, I'm with you. It's different. It's completely different.
The shots that he creates, either for himself, like I was talking to somebody today, a buddy of mine, and we were talking about like Golden State said, we're not going to W. We're just not. We'll single and just kill us. Like, that's fine. But it almost reminds me of football with Mahomes, where the teams are like, we're just dropping 8 back. If you want to rush 7 yards of carry,
go for it.
Go ahead. You can take the 7 yards, but We're not letting Mahomes throw deep. We're just not. Everybody's going to be back. And with Jokic, it's like, just take your 2 points. That's where we've gotten with him, because the moment you double him, everybody just gets a wide open whatever. And then at the end of the game, and you saw it yesterday with the shot that he created for the game-winning 3, like, he just gets everybody incredible shots. Who would be more fun to play with than him? Other than maybe Chris Paul.
Well, him or, I mean, Luka's pretty fun to play with too in terms of the types of shots you get, as long as you don't mind him having the ball 95% of the game.
Right.
You're gonna get fed. Jokic is like, definitely pick your poison. I don't really know what the right way to defend him is. I think you have to mix it up and give him different looks. I do think you want to rely on, I think most teams in the playoffs will basically at some point make their non-shooters. These aren't great shooting guys around him. Like Monte Morris hit one the other night. He's not a bad shooter, but he's not like a knockdown shooter. Aaron Gordon's not like a knockdown shooter from 3. Campazzo certainly isn't. Rivers certainly. So I think as the playoffs go, I think you'll see teams will game plan a little bit to let the other guys kind of beat you, but it'll probably vary from game to game.